What do you get when you combine hide and seek with a paintbrush? You get a Meccha Chameleon.
Hell no.
And believe it or not, that's actually the name of this cool game that I've gotten really addicted to recently. I've played a lot of it already and have discovered quite a few hiding spots that I really want to share. Some are extremely known, day one strats, while others are more creative and experimental. Even some original spots that I've seen no one else do yet. Because I realize that once I reveal these locations, they will be expected spots to check, but first of all, that's only if this video blows up, which I highly doubt. And also, with the right amount of creativity, there's unlimited potential. Except for one map. This image definitely doesn't have any correlation with what I just said. Don't read too deep into it. Speaking of which, I'll only be covering spots for the 7 current vanilla maps in the game. It also won't be a rank system since this is just based on my personal experiences with these hiding spots, and everyone's eyes work very differently, so it kind of just depends on who you're playing with. I can't guarantee wins every time, obviously, especially the longer this game is out for, but regardless, I hope this gives you inspiration for some new ideas and makes you give a big old like and subscribe for more. Now, enjoy the video. Being the biggest of all vanilla maps, it leaves room for a lot of potential. There's many early known strategies like the banners in the foyer, or towels from the bathroom or laundry, and the ballsack of a horse.
What the hell?
Those are great and all, but I have a few other options that require a little more pizzazz. Let's start off with flowers.
Wow.
Do you like flowers?
No!
Because let me tell you, I like flowers. Especially when they give me a victory royale in my favorite painting game. Do it right and you'll blend in seamlessly with all your fellow aromatic angiosperms. As long as no one's memorized the patterns of flowers in your lobby. If that's the case, just hide in the bushes, I guess, I don't know. The same can be said for the slabs of meat in the kitchen, but there's a higher density of them, so maybe it's easier to pull off if you know how to draw, because it definitely requires a lot more attention to detail if you want to get the texture spot on. I think this one is just also a very common strategy, probably one of the earliest discovered ones. So you might have to improvise a little bit, get a little creative with it, but it's definitely still possible to win with this method, so don't rule it out. Now, the shirts and the laundry are interesting, because this is where the phrase "gamers never look up" starts applying. It also depends on what shirt you decide to camouflage as, and me personally, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this one white and gray spiral shirt.
Nice.
It demands a challenge to draw if you're into that, and it's kind of in an odd place where no one really thinks to look, especially when there's so many more materials to work with in that room. And lastly, to finish off the hide and seek mansion, we have something that brings a whole new meaning to the term book smarts. Wanna be smart?
I'm smart.
Become a book. Want even more intelligence? Become multiple books. It's brilliant. It pretty much writes itself, pun intended. Just fit yourself into one of those bookshelves and replicate the style of either the red or gray books. It doesn't really matter. Both are fine. Both work. And I've seen that the cubic character works better for getting those rougher book edges when balling yourself up. So you can do that too and probably succeed even more.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but which one could turn you into Squirtle? Move your tongue into a circle.
The sewer used to be one of my least favorite maps until I discovered my absolute Mona Lisa of a hiding spot. That I'll save for the end of this list. To get the obvious out of the way though, hiding as graffiti in a perfect spot where seekers will rarely shoot blindly is a perfectly viable, tried and true strategy. It's basically the staple of this map, so expect others to expect it. Moving on, we have our first repeat, the shirts. This time, with way fewer options. The same philosophy of gamers never looking up applies here too, as it is located directly above a rusty car and a bunch of garbage bags, which will usually be a seeker's primary focus. I always pick this blue shirt with thin stripes, but you can try any of the others and see how that works out for you. You can also see if hiding on the front or the back of the shirt is better. I prefer the front because I believe they're more likely to look up while behind the shirts, since it's kind of in a more enclosed space, so they're more inclined to look up. And I'd assume that's where most people are expecting hiders to be. Bricks and pipes kind of go hand in hand with each other since you have pipes along the brick walls you can hide behind throughout most of the map. But there's one particular spot at the frame of a doorway where you can hide as gray bricks that worked surprisingly well for me. I'll even show you a clip of this madness unfolding. What the hell? What the shit is happening? Oh, so what is happening?
I feel so dumb.
Me too.
Oh my god! I can't believe
What?
it!
Oh, yeah, I was never gonna see it.
Yeah, no one was ever finding that.
My current working game theory for this working so well is that it being such an inconvenient spot as a hider, no one would really think to check. So it's basically like a little game of reverse psychology, and you're the one with the PhD. But now, onto my favorite spot for this map. It is my staple, an iconic location that I discovered first from the intellectual depth that I contain. Something that truly defines me and what I stand for. Drain. This spot has no right being as good as it was while I was gathering footage. I had to test it out multiple times to make sure it wasn't some ungodly fluke. And with the new poses, it's even more powerful with this folding position that basically allows you to cover half your body through the wall and utilize just your legs as metal pipes under the drain. It is brilliant. Who thought of this? Oh, wait, me, I did. Worship me, I swear I'm not a narcissist. Tell me that isn't broken, and I'll tell you your vision is, because this is the one. A perfect combination of so stupid it works and so smart, it almost brings a tear to my eye. The back rooms. Yay. Listen, I remember when I first started playing this game and I was so excited to experience this backrooms map. How foolish and naive I was. With this having the worst map size to object density ratio, there's legitimately nowhere to hide that hasn't been done more times than a carrot swinging bunny hooker. So this will be a quick one. There's a small room with a chandelier in it. On this chandelier, you can ball yourself up and paint yourself fully white to blend in with the absurd amount of light that it provides. I mean, seriously, this bitch has to be at like 500 volts. And while it's a known spot, it does require looking up once again, and we've already established how that's a huge issue with us gamers. But you'll get some glances that could easily miss you if they aren't paying close attention, so it's still possible. For the vending machine strategy, it just requires you to paint yourself fully metallic black to blend in with the shadows on the inside of the vending machine up top. You'll need to be lying down sideways if you want to fit perfectly in there, real nice and snug. But everyone and their mother knows this spot, so don't expect much success. Finally, there's a conglomeration of chairs and furniture on one corner of the map, where if you do it just right, you can hide betwixt all the legs of the chairs in an almost unshootable spot. So it's probably the strongest place you can be, but also very well known. All right, now get me out of here. I already feel like I'm clipping through my chair.
This is a cow farm. You're gonna find cows outside. Cows outside.
Indoor Country, another abomination of a map that's so small it makes Moist Critical look like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's basically no spot in this map that hasn't been done before. There's only better or worse, so let's just find which ones are better. And that'll lead us onto our second repeat. We have more pipes and walls. I mean, excuse me, that was not part of the script, but I'm gonna leave it in there. I mean, if you really think walls can be applied to every single map, but that's lame. It's what losers do. Sometimes. Only when I say so. Because the walls can be very broken if done properly. Focusing on the edges and getting the texture right, or picking random spots along the wall is a viable strategy. So are the pipes. But they've been overused like crazy, so it might not be as effective. Now these rocks that I didn't realize were supposed to be clouds until I expanded my brain veins are something that I fell victim to, since I would rarely look up. Yep, I know, I'm a true gamer. You know, I play like 3 games. I would rarely look up at the correct spots. And with the new poses, maybe you can try something a little more clever. Bringing back the cubic character, it's made hiding on wood planks significantly easier and substantially harder to spot. I know I fell for it, but I'm also a dumb idiot stupid dum-dum. I think hiding in this smaller stack of wood planks on the opposite corner where the bigger stack is a lot less expected and better in my opinion.
Where is Omni-Man?
And again, another interesting spot utilizing the cube man is the fence method, one that's gotten so common to a point where people get angry about it. There's so many areas to actually fit in between two fences since the entire map is full of them, so it takes quite a bit of time for the seekers to find you if they're aware of the strat. You can hide anywhere on the map as a balloon. The whole map is filled with a plethora of balloons, and it's a classic, but it's kind of boring, gotta admit. So instead, why not hunt penguins?
Oh, yeah.
As a form of camouflage, of course. Like, come on. While it's definitely gaining lots of popularity for being such an iconic maneuver, it's still fun to see how long you, or the penguin, lasts. The new folding 180 degrees pose allows for some pretty creative possibilities, like hiding as one of these little clankers, but better. Because with this pose, you can get the shape a little more accurately, and it's a fun challenge to see if anyone actually notices. In my experiences, it's been a hit or miss, but it's definitely a spot that captures the essence of this game and what it's about, so I appreciate it for that. The white banners that hang around the outskirts of this isolated room was actually one of my first spots that I ever did when I played this map for the first time, and it worked great! Don't know how it holds up now, but it's a nice and simple technique that also takes advantage of the typical gamer never looking up cliche. And finally, my favorite for this map, the flag. I only saw this done one other time, so I don't think it's too well known yet. But either way, I had a blast the times I executed this power move, the easiest way to rack up points in the main room and still not get found. If you paint yourself right, this is a hilarious spot that barely anyone notices, even when they're standing on the penguin statue, looking directly at you, and you can basically feel their breath molecules. So to start off, I'm gonna be that guy and expose two spots that I think are a little on the cheaty cheap side, just so everyone who watches this video, so not a lot, knows these uninspiring poopy spots. There's actually a lollipop right next to spawn that you can pretty much fully submerge yourself into and not be seen. I tested this out in a real game, and it really seems like you're just in an unshootable spot. So this is pretty much cheating, but the cool kind, because as you can see here in this clip that's currently playing, I gaslit the shit out of them. Here, look at this, watch this, this is funny. 3, 2. That's so good. It's funny to mess around with, don't get me wrong, but still, boring. And the same can be said for the stack of cookies that has 2 entrance points that if you fit yourself perfectly in there, you can't be shot. At least with this one, whistling should pinpoint your exact location very easily, but still, boring. Now, if you really want to hide in plain sight because you have some sort of look at me kink,
Was that the bite of 80s?
you can roll up into a ball and fidget with your character on the walls of the chocolate fountain until you're satisfied with how you're positioned, and you'll become an awesome, delectable marshmallow. I've tried this various times, and while I didn't win a single one, it works surprisingly better than you'd expect, to an almost funny degree, so you should totally try it out, see what happens. The gingerbread house edge is actually a really amazing spot that can work great as long as the seekers don't know the exact strat, of course. You literally just look like the border of the cookie. You can also get surprisingly deep in the nook, which is something I unfortunately don't hear often, so this makes me happy. But what I do hear often is the sound of churros and pretzels keeping me up at night, especially with these two hilariously diabolical methods that work wonders. With this new pose, hiding as a piece of pretzel has never been easier, and the Michael Jackson lean works goofily well for leaning against and becoming one with the churro. Now, a lot of my friends have this immense fixation for Japan that I don't quite resonate with. So they were rightfully excited for this map that looked very fun and dense. And it kinda delivered. I mean, this one definitely has to be the smallest map now. And just because it's more vertically extended does not make it bigger. As of editing this video, the map has been substantially increased in size, so everything that I just said is obsolete. Don't listen to it. But I think I still have some good ideas that have worked really well. Like this really stupid streetlight strategy that I did. This worked better than it ever should have been. Just place yourself on top of these Japanese streetlights, smack dab in the middle, and paint yourself like the balls around you. You might have to finesse it a little bit because it's very glitchy for some reason, and you will be floating in the air because the phasing system is a little bit wonky, but it still works. I've never seen anyone climb these streetlights for some reason, and they never notice it, so it works. So now, I'm gonna show you something so broken that I just randomly stumbled upon when exploring this map. If you go to this weird Blade restaurant sign looking thing, I don't know what it's supposed to be, I'm not Japanese. You can pull off the draw me like one of your French girls pose to perfectly squeeze under one of these blades. And then all you have to do is paint the rust texture on the backboard you're lying on. Literally more than half your body is being covered by one of the blades, and you're still in a very shootable spot, so it's not cheating. It's also just really entertaining to watch everyone struggle to pinpoint where the whistles are coming from, actually making them look like they're going insane. It's great. I love this. And seeing everyone pile up in astonishment after the game is over just brings joy to my soul. Now, I'm gonna share a very recent spot that I found since the new update kinda removed a few of my original ideas, so this will be in post. Using the new folding pose, you can hide at the end of a knot from a headband that this octopussy wears, kinda giving the illusion that the knot is extended and blending in almost seamlessly. This is probably one of the most creative hiding spots I've seen, and I really like this one because of that. And from the games that I've played, this seems really, really OP. I mean, just look at these bimbos just walking around all over me. What? And that's all I got for you in this video. As of making this, a new update with clones came out, and I'm too lazy to retcon this entire script and start over for the new potential that those clones bring. So if you really enjoyed this, the spots that I had to offer, and want me to make a similar video to this, but you know, with the new clones, let me know in the comments. Subscribe and like, because then I'll like you. But only if you like, and you definitely need my likeness, because everyone knows that. Alright, bye-bye.